Welcome back to Talk Tickers, the show where we take earnings calls and break them down so you don't have to.
Exactly.
And today we're diving into Axon Enterprise's Q4 2024 report.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was a big one. They just crossed $2 billion in revenue for the year.
Huge.
Almost double what they did just 2 years ago. So
Yeah, that's some serious growth.
yeah, it really is. It's pretty remarkable.
It is, and it's fueled by a few key factors we're going to explore today.
Okay.
First off, their flagship product, the Taser 10,
Right.
continues to dominate. Orders are still twice that of the older Taser 7, so it's showing that this isn't just some, fad. This is a real shift in the market.
It's interesting, too, because it goes beyond just sales figures, right?
Yeah.
We're starting to see data emerge about the Taser 10's impact, like on the ground, with early reports suggesting that it might be playing a role in reducing officer-involved shootings,
Yeah.
even international.
That's a crucial point because it speaks to the potential societal impact of their tech. But let's not forget about their other major growth engine.
Okay.
Axon's been investing heavily in this area,
They have.
and it's starting to pay off in a big way.
Yeah. Their AI-powered report writing tool, Draft One, is a prime example.
It's huge.
It's saving police departments a ton of time, resources, essentially giving officers back a significant chunk of their day that they can then dedicate to other tasks.
And that has ripple effects, potentially improving morale, efficiency, and even freeing up time for more community engagement.
Yeah. And during the call, Axon's CEO actually hinted at a new AI service that could potentially cut a department's workload in half.
Wow.
Now, what exactly that entails is anyone's guess at this point, but it certainly raises some interesting questions.
It's a tantalizing tease that suggests that Axon has even bigger ambitions when it comes to leveraging AI
Right.
in the public safety space.
Right.
Speaking of ambitions, we can't overlook Axon's international and enterprise expansion. International bookings jumped almost 50% this past quarter,
Yeah,
and they just secured their biggest enterprise deal ever,
I saw that.
a global logistics company going all in on Axon gear.
So much for them just being a police company, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's clear that Axon is diversifying and becoming a major player in the broader security and public safety tech industry.
Right.
And this move into the enterprise market could open up a whole new avenue for growth.
It could. And finally, we need to talk about drones.
Drones.
Axon's partnership with Skydio, the leader in autonomous drones, it's perfectly timed, especially with DJI drones facing restrictions in the U.S.
Yeah, Skydio's autonomous capabilities are a real game changer. They can potentially save departments money and manpower. And with global interest in drone security on the rise, this partnership is poised for some serious growth.
And they also have that acquisition of the company that makes tactical drones for indoor use.
Oh, right.
This has led to a lot of speculation about where they might go with that technology.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fascinating development because it signals Axon's willingness to explore new and potentially disruptive applications for their tech. Remember, this is a company that's constantly innovating and pushing boundaries.
It's true. They're not afraid to make bold bets, and that's what makes them such a dynamic and intriguing company to follow.
Absolutely. And from a financial perspective, they seem to be executing their strategy very effectively. Their revenue growth has been consistently strong, and they've been able to maintain healthy profit margins while investing heavily in research and development.
So as we dig deeper into the specifics of this earnings call, keep in mind that Axon is not just a company that makes tasers. They're building a comprehensive ecosystem of security and public safety technology with a global reach.
And they're doing it in a way that suggests they're not just chasing short-term gains, but aiming to establish long-term leadership in a rapidly evolving market. All right, let's delve into the numbers a little bit. Axon delivered an impressive Q4 revenue of $575 million,
No.
a 34% jump compared to the same period last year.
So this marks their 12th consecutive quarter with revenue growth exceeding 25%.
It does.
It seems like their growth engine is showing no signs of slowing down.
That's right. And it's not just one segment driving this performance. Axon achieved double-digit year-over-year growth across all their business units.
Really?
Yeah. Tasers, sensors, software, and services.
Yeah.
They're firing on all cylinders. It paints a picture of a well-rounded and diversified business.
Yeah, it really does. And software is playing a particularly significant role, I think.
Yeah.
It now accounts for a pretty substantial 40% of their overall revenue,
Yeah.
underscoring their successful transition beyond just hardware.
And their software as a service metrics are really robust. They reached $1 billion in annual recurring revenue,
Okay.
representing a 37% increase year over year. That's a strong indicator of the stickiness of their platform
Yeah.
and the loyalty of their customer base.
Absolutely.
Mm.
It shows that customers are not just signing up, but staying with Axon and expanding their use of the platform.
Right.
Their net revenue retention rate, sitting at 123%, further reinforces this point.
Now let's shift our focus to profitability. Axon achieved a 25% adjusted EBITDA margin for the full year,
Okay.
which is a testament to their ability to grow rapidly while also managing their expenses effectively.
This is especially noteworthy
Yeah.
because they had initially set that 25% adjusted EBITDA margin as a target for 2025,
Yeah, they did.
and they managed to hit it a year early.
Yeah,
Demonstrates their commitment to both growth and financial discipline.
it does. For 2025, they're projecting revenue in the range of $2.55 billion to $2.65 billion, which implies another year of substantial growth, building on their already impressive performance.
Yeah. If they hit that target, it'll mark their 7th consecutive year of 25% or greater annual growth.
Wow.
It's remarkable, a feat of consistent high performance in a competitive market.
They're also aiming to maintain their adjusted EBITDA margin around 25% in 2025,
Okay.
suggesting they're not going to sacrifice profitability in the pursuit of growth.
It's a smart strategy, especially given the significant investments they need to make in R&D to stay ahead of the curve.
Speaking of which, their capital expenditure is expected to be between $140 million and $180 million in 2025.
Okay.
A considerable increase driven primarily by investments in expanding their production capacity for the Taser 10
Okay.
and developing new products in areas like drones and robotics.
So it's clear that Axon is playing the long game here.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just focused on maximizing short-term profits, but building a sustainable business for the future.
They're laying the groundwork for long-term growth
Yeah.
and aiming to solidify their position as a leader in this rapidly evolving industry.
Right.
Now, before we move on to our This Is Not Financial Advice segment, there's one more development we should discuss. Axon's headquarters situation.
Right. Their plans to expand their headquarters in Arizona seem to have encountered some unexpected roadblocks.
Some roadblocks, yeah.
It seems like the complexities of Arizona's zoning laws and some political pushback have created like uncertainty around the project.
Yeah, it's become quite convoluted. Some are suggesting that the opposition may be fueled by outside interests.
Oh, wow.
The bottom line is this whole ordeal could delay Axon's expansion by as much as 2 years. And there's even a risk they might have to start from scratch.
Wow. And CEO Rick Smith has been quite vocal about his frustration with the situation.
Yeah.
He's expressed concerns about the predictability and attractiveness of Arizona's business environment, especially when compared to states like Florida and Texas that are actively courting businesses.
It seems that Axon may be exploring alternative locations.
Really?
Yeah. Smith has mentioned that several states are already vying for their attention.
Okay.
And he plans to announce a decision in the coming weeks.
It'll be interesting to see where they land. This decision could have, significant implications for Axon's future operations and growth trajectory. But for now, let's transition to our This Is Not Financial Advice segment, where we let loose and explore some wild but potentially insightful trade ideas.
Remember, folks, this is all purely hypothetical. For entertainment purposes only. Don't base any investment decisions on our musings here.
Exactly. We are not financial advisors.
Yeah.
This is just a bit of fun where we put on our speculative hats. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's dive into this week's thought experiment. Okay, so for this week's This Is Not Financial Advice segment,
Yeah.
let's play a little game of connect the dots with some of the trends we discussed earlier.
Okay.
Remember all that talk about drones and AI and Axon's push into the enterprise market?
I do. It seems like you're setting up one of your signature what-if scenarios.
You know me too well. What if Axon decides to go all in
Yeah.
on AI-powered security drones,
Okay.
but specifically targeted at businesses?
Interesting. Now, that's an interesting thought. They've already dipped their toes into the enterprise world with that logistics company deal.
Right.
And their partnership with Skydio clearly signals their commitment to drone tech.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But imagine them taking it a step further
Yeah.
and creating like a whole new market for autonomous security drones designed for businesses.
Uh-huh.
Things like warehouses, shopping malls, factories, you name it.
Okay, but is there really a demand for that?
Think about it. Businesses are always looking for ways to improve security and reduce costs.
True.
What if, instead of hiring a whole team of security guards, they could deploy like a fleet of AI-powered drones that could patrol 24/7, detect anomalies, and even respond to incidents in real time?
I see where you're going with this. It's like having a highly efficient, always-on security force that never gets tired. Right.
And can cover a lot more ground than human guards.
Exactly. And with Axon's expertise in AI,
Uh-huh.
they could create drones that are incredibly sophisticated.
Okay.
Imagine drones that can not only identify potential threats,
Yeah.
but also track individuals, assess situations, and even communicate with human security personnel if necessary.
It's a compelling vision,
Yeah.
but there are definitely some hurdles to overcome. The technology would need to be incredibly reliable, accurate, and there are obvious privacy concerns that would need to be addressed very carefully.
Oh, absolutely. We're not saying it's a slam dunk.
Yep.
But if Axon can navigate those challenges and build a truly robust and trustworthy system,
Yeah.
the market potential is huge.
It would be a significant expansion of their current offerings
Right.
and could tap into a whole new revenue stream.
Mm.
If they pull it off, we could see their stock price really take off.
Exactly. It's a speculative scenario, but it highlights the kind of, innovative thinking and market disruption that Axon is known for.
Remember, this is a company that's always looking for the next big thing, and this could be it.
It's certainly something to keep an eye on. Now, before we wrap up, it's crucial to reiterate that this entire segment has been pure speculation.
Yes.
We are not financial advisors, and this is not investment advice. Any decisions you make based on this conversation are at your own risk.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This is all about exploring possibilities and thinking outside the box, not giving financial guidance.
So with that disclaimer firmly in place,
Yes.
let's zoom out and consider the bigger picture. Axon has delivered an impressive year of growth.
They have.
And their earnings call paints a picture of a company that's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
They're executing their strategy effectively, expanding into new markets, and making bold bets on the future.
It's true.
They're a company to watch, and we'll be keeping a close eye on their progress in the months and years to come.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for this episode of Talk Tickers. Thanks for joining us as we dissected Axon's latest earnings call. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into the world of earnings reports.
Sounds good.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and remember, always do your own research before making any investment decisions.